Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, I'm going to review this. It's You Only Live Twice from 1967. The fifth Bond film. And at the time, people thought it was going to be, well, it was announced that Sean Connery was actually leaving. And hence, on Her Majesty's Secret Service, the next film, a new actor was employed, as we all know. But I want to talk about this film, and I absolutely love it. It's something I've been wanting to talk about quite a while ago, and it's been pressing on. Suddenly I've decided, yes, I'm going to review this film, because I absolutely love it. It has such a lot of personal memories as well for me, this film. Because effectively, this was the first James Bond film I saw at the cinema. I was 8 years old. 7 years old, 8 years old, maybe more. I was 7 years old, 1967. I remember it so clearly, my dad taking me to the Pavilion, that was our local flea pit, to see this film. And I was just in awe of this film. It just adds something, the kind of storytelling that I absolutely loved. This is a James Bond film that has that great fantasy element in it, and I absolutely adored it, and I still do. I've watched this over the years, and I still think it's a great film. I think underrated in some ways, because everybody will talk about the other Connery films, perhaps more than this. But this is a real classic. It has all the ingredients that we see in a classic Bond film. It's just amazing. And as I say, as a 7-year-old, I had seen nothing like it, and it really captured my imagination. I love all these sort of Bond kind of tropes, if you want to call it that. I use that word and think, well, it's just a word. Anyhow, but it's got all the gadgets. It's got the adventures of, all these stunt things that's going on, and what I always love in a Bond film is when there's like the secret, the villain's base, where the villain is there doing all the things. And of course, this is perfect. I mean, brilliant idea. The volcano. Oh yeah, it's just wonderful, isn't it? Wonderful. I mean, the whole premise of the film is great. The fact that they're trying to cause a Cold War. Spectre, of course. They're trying to cause this Cold War between America and Russia, and really exploiting it further. I mean, there is obviously a Cold War going on, as we know, but doing it in space by going up and virtually just getting hold of their rockets and just disrupting everything and blaming, so each side blames each other. It's a brilliant concept. And of course, the other great thing about this film, some of the Bond films don't have a great villain, but this has got an absolutely brilliant villain. Donald Pleasance. Oh, yes. It's almost become an iconic role, actually, in this, with his cat there. And just everything about him is fantastic. I do love Donald Pleasance. What a great actor. He's appeared in so many genre films. It's unbelievable. But in this film, he is wonderful as the villain. Has there ever been a better Blofeld than him? I don't think there has. Really, he is Blofeld. He really is. I absolutely think it's great. Such a performance just is great. A lot of people, I noticed, the critics again, though it does have 73% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I suppose isn't too bad. The public, again, obviously loved it. It was a $9.5 million budget, box office $111.6 million were made. So it was profitable as usual. The public loved it. The critics, yes, there were. In retrospect, some critics now see it in a better light. But at the time, I think a lot of people also didn't like. They felt that Connery was just going through the motions, that he wasn't really into the film because it was his last one. He was reluctant and what have you. I wouldn't say that as it's as bad as people make out at all. I'm personally quite happy with his performance. I think he's great, and I love also the Japanese culture. We got most of the location work was done in Japan as well, because normally we get worldwide settings with a lot of Bond films. So this was very much focused on Japan and the culture. And it's just a great film. I mean, what is wrong with people? I mean, it's got it all. It's exciting. And Roald Dahl, yes, the wonderful Roald Dahl wrote the screenplay for this. I mean, what more can you say? And it's got all the usual Q, Miss Moneypenny. They're all there. It is classic Bond. I know Goldfinger will always be looked at as perhaps the best of the Connery films. Though I actually think I rather like Dr. No, the first one, because that, if you notice, that has the bass and the kind of great villain. But this, I think this is just really spot on. For me, it's maybe it's because it was my first real Bond that I saw in the cinema. 7 years old, there with my brother and my dad, and just absolutely lapping it up in our local flea pit, as we call them. Hey, but it was really grand. It was exciting. It really grabbed my attention. I had been to the cinema before to see films and enjoyed it, but this really grabbed my attention. I mean, seeing the Daleks was fantastic and what have you, and Doctor Who, but when I came to see Bond, I mean, this was just amazing. Absolutely amazing stuff. It just really got me, the whole thing, and I absolutely love it. And I hope other people just will look at it, and realise that it is an absolute classic. It's classic Connery. And I know he went on, and we did get Diamonds Are Forever, which I don't mind Diamonds Are Forever at all. It's not as bad as some people really are very down on Diamonds Are Forever, but it's not a bad film at all. But this, to me, is the pinnacle. It's just it's got it all. It's got what you want from a Bond film. Now, I know there'll be a lot of more modern day sort of outlooks with Daniel Craig and, saying, we want more realism and all that kind of thing. Well, as much as that is good and I accept it in the modern, this to me is classic fantasy kind of Bond. I like that. To me, it makes it exciting. I don't want always grittiness and what have you. This is the kind of Bond that I really like. And this film, brilliantly written by Roald Dahl, who takes it well away from the original source material of Ian Fleming. I'm sure he wasn't very pleased, or I don't know if he was alive then, but he wouldn't be that pleased with it. But Roald Dahl is a great writer. We may, in the future videos, come back to Roald Dahl in some ways. I've got some ideas about that. But anyhow, this is a great film, and I totally recommend it. Bond is Bond, and I will do more Bond films because I really love a lot of the Bond material. Some maybe is not as good, but I'm a bit sort of hammerish here. That I can find good things in all of Bond films, you know. Even the grittier ones. I mean, I must prefer. I'll do like the more fantasy kind of Bond, but with Daniel Craig, I think Skyfall is particularly a good one, and the very last one, a good. I think Casino Royale is perhaps overrated more. The way they talk about that one, but as I love all. I can find a good few films and enjoyment in all the Bonds. And this, to me, is what Bond is all about. This film, yeah. So that's me. I don't want to ramble on because I could start rambling on and on. I don't want to ramble on too long, but if you've not seen this, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, but if you have seen it, go and have a look at it again. And I think you might find a lot more things in there. You just keep watching it. I mean, I still can come back and find love things. I love the piranhas. Don't you love a good piranha? When the piranhas... I love all those kind of things as well. They're in there, I mean, this has got it all, hasn't it? It's got everything. It's just fantastic. So, that's it. I thought I'd just come and put this film review. I wasn't really intending to do it, but I just suddenly decided, hey, I want to review a Bond film. There's more definitely I'm going to review, but I just wanted to get this one in. Yeah, this is. So that's You Only Live Twice from 1967. Great film. And say if you're interested still more and you haven't subscribed, so we can give notifications, and also if you like it, please give it a like. Yes, write in the comments, give me ideas, suggestions, things that you might want me to review, and that would be great. So all I've got to say is I'll see thee, and I'll see thee again.